Hi, let's talk about posts. Why do we actually need posts? Well, let's say that you have a website for a real estate agent. So here's the website I built a few years ago. And what you can see here, yes, it's in Hebrew, but I guess the idea will be clear very soon. For example, houses for sale. So in this page, I have lots of houses for sale, and each of them is actually a post. Okay? So for example, if you click here, you can get more information about this apartment for sale. You can get more photos, you can get a map, and so on, the price, and all that. In other words, if you have a website with a few main categories, say houses for sale, houses for rent, and more, and in each of them you have lots of different offerings, like lots of different apartments or homes, it makes more sense to create a post for each of those houses. Say, for example, I have a website with games, okay, with games and widgets and airplane models and so on. So I will create those pages, and each page will include a lot of posts that will present each of my products. So I created for you a few posts here, just for the example, of course. Say I have game A, game B, and game C. Now you create a post the same way you create a page. So you go to posts and add new. So that's quite easy. However, there is one trick that you shouldn't skip. So if you click on edit, you'll see on the right side, you'll see these categories here, okay? You can create categories, you can create any category you want by clicking on add new category. So for example, I created the category games and the category gadgets and so on. Now, once I categorize the posts, I can present posts according to the category, which is actually quite cool. I'll show you an example. I'll go back to the dashboard, and let's choose one of those pages. I created a page just for the example. I called it games. Now let's edit it with Elementor. And yes, you can create it as any other page, like add an headline and all that. However, it gets more interesting when we add the posts area, or just type in posts on the search engine here. And now we have this posts area, and by default, it presents the only three posts that we have on this site. However, it can be more sophisticated and more useful than you think. So if we go to query, I can decide that I want to include only posts that were written by a certain author. So let's say you have a few authors in your website, a few contributors. You can actually present only posts written by Yossi or Dani or Moshe, for example, or you can go by the categories. And here you have to choose term. So now I have to choose a category. I can choose, for example, the category gadgets. As you can see, it can find it automatically. And as you can see, it's empty because I didn't create any posts that were categorized as gadgets. So let's choose games. As you remember, I have 3 posts that were categorized as games. Okay, let's choose games. And that's what I see now. The three posts that were categorized as games. Now, you can actually present it or create a layout that is much more friendly. For example, I can go to layout. I can choose the number of columns. It can be 3, 4, any number you want. I usually prefer 3 columns. And of course, you can choose how many posts will be presented, because maybe one day you'll have dozens of them or even hundreds of them. So it will make a website very heavy or very unuseful. And more importantly, design-wise, is the skin. So you can choose, for example, cards. Now it even looks better, okay? You can have the picture. When you create a post, it's like creating a page. You can upload a main photo, a main image for each of those posts. So here you can see the picture, and you can choose, for example, to remove from the metadata You can choose to remove the date and the number of comments if it makes more sense for you. And that's it. That's a cool way to arrange your website in a more useful, in a more easy to use way. I just want to show you how to create those, how to upload the main photo for each of your posts. So let's go back to the dashboard now. And if I choose posts and edit it, on the right side here at the bottom, there is the featured image. So that's the image that will be presented as the main image of the post. If you don't upload an image here, it will actually choose one of the images in the post itself, and it's less ideal. So remember each post you create to categorize it and to upload an image. Now remember, when you create posts, as I said before, it's like creating web pages. So maybe you shouldn't forget your reason why, your keywords, social media sharing buttons, and all the principles that you have learned so far. Good luck.